Hi, it's good to see you. My name's Tristan, and you are?
I'm Charla.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
All right. So before we get started, I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. So once again, my name is Tristan Scartosi. I identify as she and her, and I am a white female. And how do you identify yourself?
I identify as a African American Belizean female.
Okay. And so with that being said, are you comfortable with me being your counselor?
I am.
Our differences? Okay, perfect. So today I want to go over informed consent with you and kind of give you a rundown on what that is, and then we'll go a little bit later about kind of why you're here and what you're hoping to seek from counseling, okay? So this is the informed consent. So starting off a little bit more about myself, I am a senior at the University of South Carolina. I'm in the psychology department, and I am a counselor in training at the moment for my EDCE 600 course. So I do have a supervisor for that course. Her name is Andrea Fleming. So she will be overlooking all of the sessions that you and I have over the course of the semester. So in total, we do have 3 sessions that'll be throughout the semester, including this one. And with that being said, I do want to thank you for kind of helping me develop my counseling practices and work towards becoming a counselor in the future. So if I do see you in public, I just want you to know that I won't say anything to you, and it's not out of me being rude or not wanting to talk to you, but I do want to respect your privacy. Of course, if you come up to me, then we can have a conversation or something like that. Does all that sound good so far?
It does.
Okay. So you do have rights as the client. You can share as much as you wish with me, whatever you're comfortable with. It is important to note that the more you share, the more I might be able to help you, but that's really up to you on what you're willing to give out. With your rights, you also do have the right to refuse or terminate the relationship between the client and the counselor. So if you would like a different counselor, I can at any time help to seek that out for you. I also, though, have the right to terminate the relationship if you are not complying to the ways that kind of the counseling practice should go. And I will let you know that and kind of give us time to adjust to that if that were to happen. So I do want to go over recordings here. So we will be recording these sessions that we're having, and that's mostly just for working towards me learning about how to be a counselor, and I will have to show those recordings to my supervisor, Andrea Fleming, and it's really just a learning process. I want you to know that it won't be seen by anyone except for me, my supervisor, and at the end of the semester, those video recordings will be erased, deleted, so just ensuring that it really is kept private what we're talking about.
Thank you.
So, what do you know about confidentiality?
I just know that confidentiality means that there's agreement of where information goes.
Mm-hmm. So that's basically right. I'm going to keep everything between me and you that you tell me about in our counseling sessions. I won't be telling anyone outside of our sessions besides my supervisor, like I said before. There are some limits, though, to confidentiality that I want to make you aware of. So some of these instances may be if you know of child or elderly abuse. If you have a medical emergency while you're in my office, I'm going to do what I can to make sure that you're healthy and safe. So that might be a way that I might have to break that. If you do release information to where I need to outsource to an outside agency or something like that, or to a specific individual, I can release your information in that way, but that's with you having written consent that that's allowed.
Okay.
Or like a court order from a judicial backing if something comes up where they need information. The court's above me, so I have to release that to them. Does that all sound good to you?
That does. I just have one question.
Yes.
Will your supervisor be stopping in at any time?
No, if I have a question about like our counseling session, I will reach out to her and maybe have a meeting with her, and I might disclose information to her in that way, but it will also stay confidential. But the counseling sessions will just be me and you each week, so
Okay.
I might go to her for more information on how to help, but the counseling sessions will be just me and you.
Okay. Thank you.
So risk and benefits, we kind of went over this earlier a little bit, but you can share as much as you want. And there are benefits that if you do share, you will possibly get a better outcome. But the risk can be that counseling can be pretty emotional at times. You might have feelings come up that you weren't expecting, such as anxiety or just a lot of feelings that might be kept underneath more so. So hopefully we can kind of work past those feelings that may come up during counseling, and the risk will not be as bad as the benefits that you get from counseling, hopefully.
Okay.
So if you do have an emergency, it's important that you do call 911. I do have my number stated on here, and I have my supervisor's email, my email. But if there is an emergency that comes about, it's important that you do dial 911, as that'll help you in the most. I also have the number for the counseling and psychiatry program at USC, so I have their number if you want to reach out to them and seek other help. So some legal and ethical concerns. It's important to note that I'm not a real counselor. I'm just a counselor in training, so I am not held up to the same standards as a real counselor would be with the licenses and such.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a learning program for me, so I'm hoping to learn from you and gain my skills as a counselor.
Okay.
Any questions?
That sounds good.
Okay. So after I make sure, I think that's everything on our informed consent. So if everything is understood, I'll have you sign here.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to tell me why you're in today or what you're hoping to seek from counseling?
Today I'm here because I feel a little stressed out. I am a part of a lot of organizations and activities on campus because I want to be a successful student.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that after I complete activities or the requirements for each organization, my mental health feels down a little bit. I feel very tired. I get angry easily. So I don't know how to find the balance between doing all these organizations and finding more to do to be a good student,
Mm-hmm.
and looking over my mental health.
Okay, so it sounds like you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but also ambitious. So I understand that that can be really difficult being a student and wanting to open up new possibilities and gain new experiences and different organizations. Do you find that you have any free time throughout the week, or are you already pretty full on your schedule?
I use my free time to sleep
Yeah.
most of the time, but after a while, sleep isn't making me feel better. So
Mhm.
that's all I have right now.
Okay, so I hear that you like to sleep. That is good. Self-care is really important in making sure that you get the sleep to have the energy to do all the other tasks that you want to do. I think an important thing to note would be that you're already involved in a lot of other organizations and you are ambitious, but maybe kind of prioritizing which ones make you the most happy and which ones that you want to be in the most, and if it is based on wanting to be a good student and things such as that, kind of maybe which ones of those make you the best student and are good for your future and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
So I think really it is important though that you get more self-care. So working on that a little bit and just taking some time to be a good student but also be yourself and enjoy having downtime is vital. So we talked about you having, how many organizations are you in? You would
I'm
say?
in about 5.
5, okay. So you're talking about that. You're already in 5 organizations, but you're kind of wanting to be in more, but you're
Right.
already feeling a little bit overwhelmed maybe from everything that you have going on, and in your free time you can sleep if you can. So I would say that working on self-care and prioritizing what you like to do and which ones that you want to have in your life would be the most important thing.
Okay.
in our next session, I would maybe want to work on some exercises to work on those goals, on prioritizing and maybe a little bit of self-care that might help with also working through your day-to-day. But
Is there any self-care techniques that I can use now instead of sleeping?
yeah, so it's really what makes you happy. So for instance, like watching a show or reading a book, something that helps you unwind. Do you have anything that helps you unwind like that?
Reading a book
Mm-hmm.
is a good one that I like to do. I like to take walks.
Okay. Yeah, so walks are really healthy, being outside in the open air, as long as it's a safe place. If
Right.
you have a safe place to go walk, maybe doing that once a day if you can manage that. If that's too much, I mean, start out small. You can start out with maybe twice a week or
Okay.
something like that, and then working our way up to maybe getting it to where it's part of your schedule daily. So I think that would be really healthy. So maybe before I see you next time, if you want to at least go try taking a walk or reading a book before bed, I think that would really help with your self-care and maybe trying to manage all of the organizations that you have going on in your life.
Okay.
So until next session, we'll work on more of those, but like I said, your homework's just trying a little bit of self-care and taking a walk or reading a book, but I look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.